To avoid uncomfortable questions, Dolly Parton turned...
Mama, little children of short and short.
The number one Billboard co-stars, she played a
She turned every joke about to avoid uncomfortable questions. Dolly Parton turns them into the funniest moments in the room.
And Dolly, here's my question. My girlfriend has a dog that drives me absolutely crazy. Every time we're together, he just goes nuts. And it's getting to the point where it's either me or this dog, but I don't know how to tell her. What do you think, Dolly?
Mama, little children of short and short. Mama, little children of short and Mama, little children of short and short. Mama, little children of short and bread. Wait, Patty.
Dolly has never been afraid to stand up for people who didn't have the loudest voice. The remarkable part is, she rarely needed an argument to make her
the number one spot on the Billboard country music charts. She has 25 gold, platinum, and multi-platinum records from the Recording Industry Association of America. Dolly is the recipient of 9 Grammy Awards, 3 American Music Awards, 2 Academy Award nominations, and 7 Academy of Country Music Awards. Her website boasts that Dolly is part of an elite room, offers a quiet retreat from the park for guests with sensory issues. Over 3 million guests visit Dollywood each year. It employs around 4,000 people, which is very important to Dolly because she wanted to bring jobs to people who are living in poverty the way she and her family did when she was a child. Dollywood is also home to the country's largest sanctuary for bald eagles.
Moments make that impossible to ignore.
The most beautiful woman I had ever seen in my life lived. We didn't go to town that much, but when I would go to see her because she had these long red fingernails, she wore bright lipstick, she had peroxide blonde hair, wore tight clothes, short, and I thought she was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. And my mother said, "Oh, she's just..."
Have a Dolly Parton story. They write the craziest things about you.
Lord, I've just had everything wrote about me. They are always talking about my boobs. You know, not that
I don't know why.
But they say such, and they're not that big. It's just that I'm little and they're big in comparison. Well,
that's not true.
Okay, they're big.
Sadly, Dolly's baby, her younger brother Larry, passed away when he was a newborn. Dolly was only 9 years old. She said there was a lot of heartache for her when she lost her baby brother. A year later, Dolly began singing and playing the guitar on radio and Tennessee television shows. She had been exposed to Appalachian music since she was a baby. Her mother would sing old songs to Dolly's friends. In fact, she was one of the last people at his bedside in the days leading up to the end of his life. She shared on her podcast that she told Porter how happy she was that they got to be friends and that she would always remember and love him. When she moved to Nashville, Dolly was focused on her career and had no intention of falling in love. But that all changed on her first day in Music City. As the story goes,
she turned every joke about her appearance into part of her brand, and somehow that made her impossible to embarrass. And here are the moments that prove it.
And oftentimes people will say, well, Wendy, you need a reduction. Have you ever thought about a reduction?
Oh, no, I worked too hard to get them this big. And so I went over to him. I said, hey, I would have been happy, to have paid your bill.
And I like to think that I'm totally real.
She's been called the Smoky Mountain Songbird, Backwoods Barbie, and the leading lady of country. But her rags to rhinestones journey wasn't always easy. Dolly Parton. All of these highs and lows have made Dolly Parton's life so fascinating. There's actually a history course named after her at the University of Tennessee. When she found out about the course, Dolly was so touched that she tweeted about it, saying, "From the girl voted in high school least likely to succeed, this sure is a blessing." A person as famous as Dolly is bound to have some bizarre by far. Dolly shared about a time in the 1960s when she came home to her farm in Nashville to a box near her front gate. Inside the box was a baby. That's right, an actual human child was at her front gate. Dolly had just recorded the song Jolene, and the note accompanying the baby said that the baby's name was Jolene. The child was named after the back of Porter Wagoner's dry cleaning ticket while on the tour bus. She wrote songs on anything she could find. Eventually, she outgrew Porter and wanted to venture out on her own. Dolly had so much appreciation for Porter for helping her get her start on the country music scene, but she knew she had to leave. In true Dolly fashion, she wrote him a song to let him know she was leaving. She walked into his office and told him to go to bed. Dolly would later feature a picture of the cabin where she grew up on the cover of her 1973 album, Tennessee Mountain Time. For Dolly, hard work and tragedy began at an early age. She was the fourth oldest child in the family. Her mother would give the older siblings, like Dolly, the responsibility of taking care of the new babies that were born. She would tell them, "This one's gonna be your baby." Creative and make soup out of ketchup and mustard packets. Dolly got her big break singing on the Porter Wagoner Show in 1967. She replaced the former star on the show, Norma Jean. Norma had a deeper voice compared to Dolly's more high-pitched vocal style.
And if there was one thing that helped Dolly Parton win over just about everyone, it was her confidence. As she once said,
It just was me. I was not a natural beauty, and I always wanted to be pretty. I always, wanted to.
Let me take it down. Let me take down personality. Let me take down look. Do you ever think that?
No.
You never think it's too much?
No.
behind every laugh is a message that hits a lot harder than people expect.
Oh, you've always got, when you're a songwriter, you think they're all good. It's like how everybody thinks their kids are pretty, even if they're not.
Right.
By the end of this video, you'll understand why she may be the boldest person Hollywood has ever produced.
Personally, I've been so fat in my life, I sympathize with anybody with weight.
React when she refused to play by those rules.
Folks, you know that this guy is single. And I just want you to know that if I was 20 years younger and I was single, and you like little blondes with the big hair and big ideas, that I would be giving you a run for your money. Randy Travis!
Arnold taught me how to do that. Every day and wear your rubbers.
This little one, Adrian, she's about to get married.
Oh.
So you've been married over 50 years. Can you give her any advice?
Stay gone as much as you can. I've been married 50 years. I've been home about 45 of those. So it works perfect.
Anybody else? Do you ever wish you were born a guy? Do I ever wish I was born a guy?
Encores from this 13-year-old farmer's daughter. She made her way from rural Tennessee into the hearts of country music fans all over the country. This was the first of many performances over the years on the Grand Ole Opry stage. After she graduated high school, Dolly moved to Nashville to pursue her dreams of being a country music star. But times were tough. There were days when she could only afford to eat McDonald's for dinner. Co-stars, she played a fed-up woman dealing with a horrible boss. She wrote a song for the film, also called 9 to 5, which helped her snag 2 more Grammy Awards. She was nominated for an Oscar for her role in the film as well. Not a bad way to arrive on the Hollywood scene. She went on to star in several other films, including Steel Magnolias, with Shirley MacLaine, Sally Field, and Julia Roberts. In 1983, if you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain.
But I kept my husband. I got that sucker home and I beat the tar out of him.
Dolly Parton became the iconic, savvy businesswoman, singer-songwriter, actress, author, and philanthropist that she is. It all began on January 19th, 1946, in Locust Ridge, Tennessee. Dolly Rebecca Parton was raised in a family of 12.